Well, Michael Stucky from Millennium Farms is someone I've known for a long time, and I know if I want to get heirloom tomatoes or hot peppers, that's the place to come. Michael, it's very good to be out at your nursery here in Ridgefield.
Thank you for coming.
So let's talk about tomatoes first. Now, this is one, first of all, if people are going to plant them now, you would recommend they use one of the cages with the saran wrap around it. Is that
Absolutely.
Right?
You got to give them. Historically, we've had another week, 10 days before we might have one more frost or some hail, and you really should protect them just in case. But using those wrapped cages we talked about earlier, that does two things. It protects them, but it also keeps them warm at night, and it allows them to grow a lot faster.
Okay, but when we say tomatoes, I mean, how many different tomatoes do you actually sell here, probably?
We have about 45.
45, all right. And these are not the tomatoes that you'd find in the grocery store?
No, typically not.
Okay, but let's talk about some of these, because I happened to pick up this one, and you liked it because of the foliage.
Absolutely. This is called silvery fir tree, and it's from Eastern Europe. It has finely cut leaves, very much like a fern. And the benefit of that is you have a lot more surface area in the same space, so you can have a lot lower light levels for this particular plant to throw fruit.
Okay, so what kind of fruit would this one have?
This incredibly throws fruit a good ½ pound to 3/4 of a pound, and dozens and dozens. This is like the little engine that could. It only gets maybe about 2 foot tall and maybe about 2 foot across, but it'll throw 2 or 3 dozen fruit.
Okay, and this one again is? I have to
silvery fir tree, and it's probably the best container tomato plant we've ever had.
Oh, that's good to know. That's very good. All right, because when you look at this foliage and this foliage, they're really quite different. But this is one you really wanted to mention.
Yes, this is one of the old granddaddies here. This is the red brandywine. And this in particular is different because this red brandywine has the potato leaf. The regular brandywine has the potato leaf, but it's been very difficult for us to get the potato leaf version of the red brandywine. Normally has the normal tomato leaf for the red brandywine. I personally believe this is the original, if not one of the 2 original brandywines that was sold 120 years ago.
Okay. So when people are planting, let's say brandywine right now, because that's a name a lot of people might know, they put that in now with the cage thing. When might they get fruit ready?
Brandywine is one of those great beefsteaks, and in general, the larger the fruit, the longer time it takes to ripen.
Right.
And so the Brandywine type of fruit would probably come on sometime mid-August to Labor Day, something like that.
All right. But some of these other ones are a little bit earlier. And you have
absolutely.
Some that are like, they call them a black tomato, I believe, very dark.
We have the black Krim, the black from Tula, and an earlier black called the black plum. They have a deep reddish-brown mahogany skin and flesh. The first time, it may take a little bit for you to get your mind around eating a funny-looking tomato. But after that one bite, you're hooked, because they have this wonderful, smoky, layers of flavor that make them very attractive.
All right, now I want you to show our viewers here, if I were to take this plant home, or you were to take it home, how deep would you plant it?
Okay, this happens to be a legend plant, and it's also an earlier type of plant, throws red fruit. And with all the tomato plants, I would plant to at least the 2nd major branch, sometimes the 3rd. In fact, you might even keep this 3rd branch on, but pinch off part of the leaves that would touch the ground. You don't want any of the leaves touching the ground after it's in the ground, because that's a vector for a lot of the tomato diseases.
So you plant it really this deep?
I'd plant it right up to there. And then in the next 2 or 3 weeks, all of this stem will become roots, and the plant will be 2 or 3 times more powerful. This is like the engine, and you just triple the horsepower of the plant.
Okay, good. Now, the other thing you have are peppers, and real quick, the hottest pepper you have is?
The Caribbean red habanero.
Okay, and then you also have some sweet peppers like this, and these really would need the same kind of protection early season as a tomato. Absolutely.
You can't give them enough heat here in the Northwest at night, because that's when they grow.
Okay, and how many different peppers do you have probably?
We have about 40 different peppers.
40 different peppers. Wow. Okay, Michael, we're out of time. Great information, and you're at the Vancouver Farmers Market every
Saturday and Sunday.
All right, or people can come out to Millennium Farms, and we'll get that information up on our website.
Dynamite.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
There are hundreds of great reasons to visit Farmington Gardens.
I'm a year-round gardener, so I always want to come and find something new.
Farmington Gardens will help you create the garden of your dreams.
And so when I come to Farmington Gardens, they have something every season of the year.
Ideas and imagination grow at Farmington Gardens too.
I like to come here just on a nice day and wander around. When it's early spring and you can't really do any gardening outside, you can come down here and just dream.
Just a short drive out Farmington Road in Olola. Farmington Gardens, we're growing for you.
So how does your home measure up? If you plan to build it, fix it, or plant it, don't miss the Clark Public Utilities Home and Garden Idea Fair. See hundreds of exhibits, including a home of the future built by New Tradition Homes. Pick up some plants at the region's largest plant sale, and check out the beautiful landscape displays. Admission is free. Fairgrounds parking is $5. Thursday's Columbia and has more information. The Clark Public Utilities Home and Garden Idea Fair, now through Sunday at the Clark County Event Center at the Fairgrounds.
Thanks for watching this week's In the Garden. Don't forget this show does repeat again Thursday evening on Comcast at 6 p.m. or at your leisure, you can go to the website, mikedarcy.com, click that on, and pick whatever segment you want to see again. Also remember, I do have a radio show on KXL 750 on the AM dial every Saturday morning, 9 to noon. Many of the same features on this show we talk about on the radio, only we can talk about them more in depth. It's a great weekend to get out and garden. I'd suggest you get over to the Clark County Home Garden Idea Fair and visit some of those specialty vendors.